So I have taken example 4. Basically, this method you are enable public static account invoke ACC. Now I'm going to go return the account value. Here I'm giving account ACC equal to select ID, name, phone, industry, rating from account limit 1. Return ACC. So whenever I call this particular method, it is going to return you one particular account record. Whenever I call this particular method, it is going to return you one particular account record. So it is returning an account record to you. It is returning an account record to you. Now let us invoke this Apeks class from the Lightning component. How do you invoke it? New Lightning component. Apeks example 4. When you are invoking it, we are giving controller equal to example 4. I will try to use helper also here. In the last example, everything we used except helper. We will try to use the helper in this example. Your attribute name equal to ACC, type equal to account. Previously, if you remember, I gave default equal to S object type account because I was trying to create an account and use the data in the component, pass the data to client. But in this example, I was not creating. I was getting the account from server side and I was storing that account in the ACC. Right? So there are two options. Either I have to go with account ACC equal to new account, or if somebody give me an account, that I can put it here. Account A equal to, okay. What is that XYZ? Somebody has to create an account, give me that XYZ, that I will assign here. Either you create a new account, or if somebody already created an instance of account, get that account, store it to A. There are only two options. Either you create and use it, or if somebody is giving the created account, refer to it and use it. So in this context, what I was trying to do is, I was trying to get the data from the Apeks class. Whatever the data we are going to get, that is stored in this ECC. Then I had Jura handler, name equal to init, value equal to this, action equal to this. What I lightning card, title, lightning card, Jura set, attribute, title, account, Jura set, action, actions. I give lightning value to the right. Then I was giving here. I'm just trying to repeat the topics. Whatever the data I queried, name, phone, industry, rating. Now, look at the structure what I made. If you have any queries on the structure, let me know. Now, first I have created URA attribute, line number look at the point. Number 4. Button line number
Lightning button, not command button. 10.
lightning button 10. Lightning command button. It's a label.
Also.
Right? So I just mixed some of the Visual Force attributes here. Okay. Then what was that? Too many bugs here.
Lightning button. Should be lightning button, right, instead of command button.
Yeah. So okay, right. Now look at the component here. I had a lightning card. This is title. Title I have taken, and I have taken actions. In the body, I took a layout. In the layout, I have layout item size 3. So maximum size 12. I made 3 padding around small. This is what I told. But if I want to display account name, account phone, industry, rating, first I was supposed to get the data. First I have to go to the Apeks class, get the account, then I can load it. So what I have taken, URA handler. Go to the controller. How you define the action? Where action equal to. Okay. Then instead of defining the logic here, I was defining a component here. Helper method. Then I was giving component. So I was giving where action equal to component dot get c dot invoke account if I'm right. Invoke ACC. Invoke ACC. Then enqueue the action. Then write the callback action. Action dot set callback. This comma function response. Everyone is comfortable in the last session, right? How to call the Apeks class. Everyone is good with that, right, Amma? Everyone is comfortable with that. Okay. Right. Then we give this comma function response. state equal to response dot get state. If state equal to success, then where ACC equal to response dot get. Then I want to print console dot log. Then whatever the result I got, component dot set v dot ACC. Now what is this component? Whichever the component has called this call me, the same component I am going to pass there. What is the name of the helper? Call helper. Helper dot, whatever you give, helper dot what I'm doing. When you load the component, handler will be called. Handler is calling call me is calling helper. Right, boss? When a component is loaded, handler is called. Init handler initialization. Init handler is called. Init handler is calling call me is calling helper. Helper is a sub action. Helper is also a script which has sub action. Right. Now, how do you display this? I hope you are good. I hope you are good with this. You are calling a call me is calling helper. Now, how both are connected? Whatever the component I have for call me, same component I was passing as a parameter. So, both of them are referring to same component. Both of them are referring to same component. Okay. Now, go back. Now, Lightning application. This is what I give. Have a preview. What was this? Unable to get a value of key dot, no value provided for ACC false. Where was that? We have not used it. It's v dot ACC. That's what I made a Visual Force page actually. This is how I got it. Name, phone, industry, rating. Okay. If you want to give, you can also give icon. Right. Now look at this. This is a structure what we are getting. Now refer to this structure now. Is it same like this standard record? If you open any record, how it is getting opened, how it is displayed, whichever the record we are opening, right. Now we are getting this. Now I give side by side. If you go with output text, we get in the same way. Now I give side by side. Now it is what? Body, it is divided in the form of layout. The body of the card is divided in the form of layout. Body is in the form of layout. Now only the difference what we have is, only the difference here is, they have taken formatted text or they have taken output text. We are just giving, straight away we are giving it. If you want to give the output, look at the point. If they want to give the output, we'll go with the formatted text. We go with the formatted text, or we can go with the output field. When you are using these type of things, we get the layout, top and bottom. Top and bottom, we can get the layout. Or else we can give the break also. If we give a BR also, we get the same, right? We get the BR also, we get the same. Okay. Now we have the formats like formatted text, formatted rich text, formatted name, right, boss? We can use this type of components to get whatever the name we need. Now you want to organize the data, we'll be using this. We'll come back to the point. But we have a choice to design it in the way we want. Right now I have taken one by one. If you want to split it, you can split it because it's a layout item only, right? It's a layout item. If you want to split it, what we can do? If you give BR, automatically it will come at the bottom. Am I right? People are with question mark. People keep question mark face as you don't understand, or it's a regular expression. Okay. Go for a preview. Then still I can organize it. Right? This is the same story what we received. The same story. Now, if you want to give command link or something else, again we can define it. As for the components what we learned, we know how to display it. Now down the line when you learn about command links and all that stuff, we'll see how to make this as a link. We'll see how to make this as an image. But right now, we are able to display the record exactly the way the Salesforce was displaying. Right, boss? I hope you are good with this. Clear? So what I am doing, I was making a call to Apeks class. Whatever the record you are giving me, the same record I was defining in the lightning code in the way the record was displayed in the standard lightning pages. I hope you got the story. Now what is happening? When you load the component, URA handler is called, URA handler is calling call me is calling helper, helper is going to the Apeks class, getting the record, assigning that record to this ACC which I was reading it. Why did I take in the handler? Because if I want to display the record, I have to get the record first. So before the component loads only, I have to make a call to the Apeks class. So I have taken a handler here. Is that all clear for everyone? Clear for everyone? Right, boss? Is that was clear? Everyone is good, right? Online, am I clear with this example?
Yes.
We'll
Yeah.
see it, Amma. We'll see it.
Yes, Satish.
Okay, right. Let us get into the next one. What is the next example we want? We want to take S object and we want to pass it as a parameter. We want to take a S object and we want to pass it as a parameter to the Apeks class method. So next one is how do you pass S object as a parameter to the Apeks class? Here we are getting the return type of S object. Now I want a S object to be passed as a parameter. So let us look into the next example. If you are unable to follow, let me know. I can repeat the examples. Right. You are enabled. So whatever the account I got here inside ACC. Okay. So what this was doing? Take an account record. Whatever the account record we are getting, we are trying to, whatever the account record we are getting, we are trying to insert the record. If the record was successfully inserted, we are going to get a success. If not, we are going to get a message. We are taking account as a parameter. If you pass account as a parameter, trying to insert the account, if the account was inserted successfully, we are giving a result, success, otherwise the error message we are giving. So we are supposed to pass S object as a parameter. Then how will you achieve this example? The first point, define Apeks class as a controller. Then we are giving URA attribute, name equal to ACC, type equal to account, default, as object type, default. First we have to create an account. If account is created, then only I can pass that account. Here I was trying to generate an account from the component which I want to pass to the Apeks. In the previous case, I was getting the account which is stored to the attribute in the lightning component. But in this case, I was supposed to create one account here. Whatever the account I have created, I was supposed to pass to the Apeks program. So what I was doing here? So I'll go with lightning card. Value equal to v dot acc dot. So whatever the data we entered, that is stored to ACC. Whatever the data I entered, that is stored to ACC. So I got a lightning card with a footer. When you click on the button, we are getting a call me. Any query about this component? Right, basic program only. Lightning card with some body where I was taking name, phone, industry, rating. Right, Amma? Everyone is good with this, right? Okay. Now, have a preview. This is how we got. If we apply the div, the size will be compact. If you apply the div, the size will be compact. Now, if I don't define the default, what will happen? Error will come. If I don't define this default, what will happen? If I don't define this default, go to the application. What is it? You cannot read a property name of null, because you are trying to create a record here. You are trying to create a new instance of account. So we are supposed to give default value. When you give default value, it will run. So once you enter the data, click on the button called call me. It has to call a function here. Here also I am trying to apply helper. Go to the component, apply the helper. Now how are you going to do? We have a component here where ACC equal to component dot get v dot ACC. Once you got it, where action equal to component dot get c dot, what is the name of the method we had? Call account. First read the value of ACC. Whatever the value of ACC is there, read it. Then we are trying to invoke an action called c dot call account. For this action, we are supposed to set parameters. Set params. What is this ACC? Name of the parameter. What is the name of the parameter? ACC. So that parameter ACC equal to. Are you getting my point? If you want, you can give. Right? Whatever you are giving, I am giving here. Echo. Then call the action. How do you call the action? First, let me enqueue it. $A. Then write the callback action. Action dot set callback. This comma function response. Where state equal to response dot get state. Now here we have if state equal to success. If state equal to success, where result equal to response dot get this straight away I can write in this controller only, but only to practice the helper I was taking one extra method. This code I can straight away write in the call me only. Just for the sake of practicing the helper one more time, I am giving it. Right, boss? This is how I give. Call helper. What is that? Helper dot call helper. We are passing the parameter. What is the parameter? Same component name we are passing as a parameter. Right, Amma? Is that clear? When you click on the button, call me is calling helper, helper is calling Apeks class method. Apeks class method is giving some value which I am trying to display. Right, boss? Apeks, okay. Generally, component will call controller, controller will call helper, helper will call server side, and the response will come from server side to helper, helper to component, okay, helper to controller, controller to component. This is a general flow. Component to controller, controller to helper, helper to Apeks class, Apeks class to helper, helper to controller, controller to component. Just to navigate this flow, we are taking it. Just to show the navigation of this flow, we are taking it. Then we have, what was this? Helper insert. Click on submit. Go to the inspect element. Look at the console. What is the message you are getting in? Success. So, in case if you want to pass SObject as a parameter, in case if you want to pass SObject as a parameter, you are supposed to define default value first. When you say default value, SObject equal to account, then it will create account ACC equal to new account. Then it is not inserted into data. We only created a variable called account ACC equal to new account. That ACC we are passing to the method. Method is trying to insert the data into database. Is that was clear for everyone? Is that was clear for everyone? Right? Am I clear? Am I clear? Okay. Now.
Yes, sir.
Right. Now.
Is there any restriction on the helper? How many helpers we can actually define?
No restriction. Right. Let us get back to the next point. If there is no default, see, there is a difference between. Now, if you want to pass the variable to the Apeks class, or are you taking the variable from Apeks class? If you are taking the data from component to Apeks class, in the component first we have to create a record. No? In the component we have to create a record. That record I can pass it to Apeks class. I cannot pass, if you don't give default account ACC. ACC is what? Null. You cannot pass a null to the Apeks class. There is no operation performed. It is a reference variable. If you don't initialize it, it is a reference variable. If you don't initialize it, it is a null. I have removed the default and shown you. When I remove the default, what is the message? Please mute your mic. Right. When you have given this default, if you are not given this default, what happened here? When you don't define the default, what happened? Go back. Now it is what? Account ACC. That is only account ACC. What is the value of ACC? Null. What is the value of ACC? Null. ACC.name. Null.name. Error message. That's what it is trying to tell you. What is giving? Name of null. Why? If you don't give default, account ACC only. Account ACC. This is the point. In the first example, I created an account in the Apeks class. I gave that account to the component. That component I was using. That ACC was used by component. So Apeks class already created. It has passed that ACC to the component. Component used it. But in this example, what is our requirement? We need to create an account here. Pass this account as a parameter to the Apeks class. So you have to create here an account with the data. Pass this account data to the Apeks class with the data you want to perform. So if you want to create here, it is a must that we have to initialize it. How do you initialize it?
So before calling the card itself, can we have that aura handler and then initialize that account in Apeks?
Let me give a point, explain the point. Now, there is a number of ways of doing it. This is one way. Now, as you ask me, can't we define it? Can't we define it in the era handler? Now, is it easy to define like this or define a era handler? Go to the client-side controller. From client-side controller, go to the Apeks class. Then give account ACC equal to new account. Give that ACC here. Then use it. Are you trying to take any data from server? No, right? We want only empty object. When you want to have an empty object, why we want to go for a handler to controller, controller to server side controller, then get that ACC, then enter the data. The same work is done with the default, no. Now, even if you go to Apeks class, what you want? Account ACC equal to new account, return ACC. You want empty S object to be created and return. Only to create the empty S object, why we want to go for, okay, component to controller, controller to Apeks class to, okay, controller to component. The same I can achieve with a default equal to so and so. This will reduce my navigation. This will reduce my, okay, server side interactions. I hope you are good with this. Right. Okay, boss. Next, what is the order of execution? Component will go to client side controller. Client side controller will call helper. Helper is calling Apeks class method. Right? Then Apeks class method will give result to helper. Helper will give result back to controller. Controller will give data to component. I hope you are good. Right, Amma? I hope you are good with this. Please don't type the message. Ask me. Unmute and ask me. I cannot read the message during the class. Please unmute the mic and ask me. All right, Amma? I hope you are good with this. Okay. Please do not type the message. Just unmute the mic and ask me. See,
can I know the exact use of helper?
Repeated functionality is there that we are putting in a function using it. Nothing more than that. Commonly used code we are putting as a separate and we are calling it again and again. As simple as that. It has no extra, okay, benefits. The simple thing is reusability. I told you some code is reused. Simple example. Why did the Salesforce give Lightning input here? Why did they define the same predefined? Lightning input we are using. Why did they define it as a predefined one? Because there is a scope that most of the people use it number of times. Why do they give Lightning card? There is a scope that this type of structure will be used by the developers number of times. So whatever that the developers are going to use frequently, they give it as a predefined. Similarly, whatever the structure, whatever the code we are repeatedly using, we are defining as a helper and reusing it. As simple as that. I hope you good. Right? Whichever the structure we are going to use it frequently, Salesforce has defined it as Lightning card and they are giving you use it whenever you want. Instead of writing the CSS, block, div, everything, simply we are saying Lightning card. Similarly, in our controller, if there is any logic that we are going to use frequently, common logic or any logic that we are going to use frequently, define it as helper and use it whenever you want. I hope you got. So we have seen how to pass S object as a parameter, how to take S object as a runtime. These two examples are clear for everyone. Okay. Then next example I'll do how to get a list of records displayed in the Lightning component. So we will go for getting the list of records and displaying the Lightning component. Okay. First we'll do with the iteration. We already done with iteration, right? Okay. First we'll do example with iteration, then I'll go with the data table concept. Right.
Satish, in the helper, can we use Aura ID in the helper?
You can use anything that relates to component amount. Whatever you are able to do with the client-side controller, everything can be done with the helper. There is no difference. Exactly the same. Because both of them are JavaScripts only. Right. So we have 5 here we are giving at the rate of Eura enabled.
This is the DetaTble example, sir?
Yeah, first we'll give how to fetch the list of record, then we'll go for DetaTable. First I'll show without data table, then I'll come with data table. Public static list of accounts. Okay. Till now what we have seen is a primitive values are given, or primitive values are taken as a parameter, or S object is given, or S object is taken as a parameter. Now we are trying to understand list of S objects. How to take a list of S object. So I have a query here. Select ID, name from account where name equal to name like / code plus search text plus. People know how to write SQL query, right? SQL queries are comfortable, right? So what did I write?
Yes.
Fetch the data, write name like. This will give you condition like this. Name like / quote is single quote percentage search text. If I give ABC plus percentage / quote. This what I have written. Where name like ABC. If your search text is ABC, name like / quote will give you single quote followed by percentage. Search text is ABC. I give ABC followed by string plus string will give you string /. This is how I wrote the SQL query. Then what I am doing here? What is my intention? Whatever the search text I gave, get me all the account which contain the search text. Then I want to give list of account database dot query. So I wrote a SQL query and I was giving list of records. This list of records I want to fetch in the Lightning component and I want to use it. So go for the Lightning component. First I wrote a Apeks class method which will take a search text, return you all the list of accounts which are matching with that search text. Then Lightning component six. Here we have your attribute name equal to accounts, type equal to area of accounts, and we can give list. Anything is okay. I have this. Then I have your handler name equal to init, type equal to action equal to done. Lightning card accounts Lightning layout. How do you write your iteration? Your items equal to
Items.
var dot v dot accounts. V dot accounts var equal to a.
Yeah.
Now I ask you to do the similar type of example amount. I'm just completing the same type of example. Lighting layout item size equal to 4, So is equal to 3. Adding. Now it is iteration, right? So here what I am doing? A dot name. Now look at this. This is a loop, right? Basically, I was supposed to give like this. It is a loop. A dot name, A dot phone. Instead of loop, instead of loop, what I am doing? Lightning layout. Now every time that iteration runs, every time the loop runs, one lightning layout will be created. What is the size of lightning layout? Here we have an extra property. What is the property? Multiple rows equal to true. Lightning layout, multiple rows equal to true, which says we are allowing the data in multiple rows. We had an attribute multiple rows equal to true. We had an attribute multiple rows equal to true. It's okay. Now, multiple rows equal to, here we are going to say multiple rows equal to. Why multiple rows equal to? I am not sure how many records I am going to get. I am not sure how many records I am going to get. Did you follow this point? Should I make it simple? People have followed this point? Okay. Let us see the UI. I'll come back to the story again.
Yeah.
Let us see the UI. I'll come back to the story again. Have a preview. What was that? Unable to find an action call me. Right. Handler I have defined. Go to the controller. In the controller, what is the action we are going to give? Call me. The call me. So here I am going to give okay. You're all set. Okay. Then I told this is the format. Display this item only if v dot I can give it. Display this only if the data is. I'll make it simple. So go back to the app. Right. I want to put both of them in a single block. Then again I have to apply div within a div or alignment. So what I can do in this case, go back to the structure. We are supposed to set the size of the box. Okay. Right. I'm just trying to build some UI with a custom header. I have a preview of it. There is BR again. What was the issue with that lightning size? We are getting okay. Let's move on. I made a just small functionality here. So I'm going to give account name and click on the search. In the body, I was supposed to get the data. This is the box we got. We are going to enter some writing input. We are going to enter the data, click on the search. It has to go to the Apeks class. Till here everyone is okay, right? Now why did I make all this such a lengthy procedure here? This all I made because I want to get this search box with a search on the header. In the header I want so that in the body I get the data. In the header I want so that I will get the data in the body. Right. So here I was giving here, URL set attribute equal to title. I have taken a lightning layout. Now line number 5 to line number 15, anyone has any query, let me know. Look at the code which is available from line number 5 to line number 15. If you have any query, let me know. URL set attribute equal to title. So this is going to be displayed in the place of title. This is displayed in the form of title. Whatever the lightning card title place is there, in that place I am going to display this. What I was displaying in the lightning title, I took a layout. In the layout, I took two layout items, size 2, size 1. Because I want the input text box size to be more and button size to be less. So I took size 2, size 1. So in that area, layout came with one input text and one button. Layout came with one input text and one button. Is this was clear for everyone? Is this was clear for everyone? Everyone is clear with this? Right, Amma? Everyone is clear with this?
Yes.
Yeah. Now,
Yes.
we are going to this. When you click on call me, controller will be called. What is this controller? First, where component dot get v dot, then where action equal to component dot get. We are supposed to call Apeks class method. What is the name of the method? Get my accounts. C dot then we are supposed to pass params. Set params this is a case sensitive. We do cross check. Okay. Then we are supposed to give callback action. Action dot set callback. Where state equal to response dot if state success, then if state equal to success, what we are supposed to do? Where result equal to response dot get component dot set v dot accounts equal to now I am making a call to Apeks class, getting the data, assigning the data to the accounts. So go back to this. Now go back and see what is the data we are getting here. There are no records. Let us go and see what are the account records we have. First action is missing, right? Okay. A dot NQ action. Number 14 NQ action. So go back to the story once again, reload it. Right. This is how we got it. Right. Now, for each border, if you are able to apply border, it will come like a tile. If you apply a border, it will come like a tail. This is what I asked you to achieve in the first example. Arrays, when I cover the arrays, when I cover the topic of arrays, this is what I asked you to achieve. Now I am getting the list of accounts and I ask you to display like a layout. Okay. I hope you are good with this. Okay. Now look at the story. Now why are you getting the data in this format? Why are you getting the data in this format? Because I am displaying the data in the form of layout item. I am not displaying like a list of table. I am not displaying like a table. I am displaying like a layout. When you say layout, layout item 1, layout item 2, 3, 4. Because I told size equal to 3. Now they have got 4 columns in the layout. Because I told size equal to 3, I got 4 columns. Did you follow my point? Did you follow my point? Now the purpose of this is, because we have done array example, I ask you to complete this example in this format. That's the reason I have just taken this structure. This is the same example what I asked you to do in the array. Now, iteration. Every time the loop runs, one layout item will be created. What is the size of the layout item? 3. So, second item, 3. Second item, 3. Next item, 3. 12 is completed. Go to next row. Because I told multiple rows equal to 2. So, when 12 is completed, come to second. Second row, 1, 2, 3, 4. Go to third row. Are you getting my point? I am getting the data and I was trying to display the data in the form of layout. Are you clear about this? People have followed this. People have followed this example. Anyone has any query on this, Amma? If you have followed this, I'll put it.
If we have not done,
Yeah. If I don't give
if
this,
we have not,
yeah, if I don't do it this, if I don't do the layout item, I can only iteration. I took like a paragraph. This is how I get. How are you getting? In a single row we are getting. I'll give a space also to make you to understand. I'm giving a double space to make you to understand data. Name, phone, because I split it here. If you don't split it, it will come in a single line. If you don't split, it will come in a single line. Right? I'm getting a list of records, but it's not organized. It is not coming in a proper table format. It is not organized. It is not coming in a proper table format. It is not coming organized. Right? That is the reason one of the old structure I have taken is era iteration. Why did I take this structure? Because I already gave an example for you. I asked you to implement this example. In the array concept, I told take a list of arrays. I asked you to take a list of string values. Then I asked you to display like a tiles. I gave this example as a solution. I implemented this. If not, you are supposed to display the data like this. If you are displaying the data like this, how are you getting the output? This is how you are getting the output. Straight away, we got a list of records. How do you display a list of record? Your iteration, items equal to list of elements, var equal to a dot name, a dot industry. Now, how are you going to display the data in the page block table? Value equal to list of elements, var equal to a. Similar iteration, items equal to list of records, var equal to a dot name, a dot phone. But I want them to be displayed like a block. I want them to be displayed like this. I want them to be displayed like this. Because I want them to be displayed like this, then I have used lightning layout. That is the reason I used lightning layout. Here I told lightning layout. Multiple rows equal to 2 means it will not override. It will come to the next line. When size of table is completed, it will come to next line. Right? Multiple rows equal to first row, second row, third row. Each row will have size of 12. Now, each time the loop runs, it will create a layout item with the size equal to 3. So, first item, first row. Second item, second row. Third item, fourth item. Size is completed. I told multiple rows true. So, fifth item will come to next row. I hope you got my point. Is that was clear? People followed? Any other queries from your end? Any other queries from your end? Any other queries from your end, boss? Any other queries from your end? Now, I can give for your understanding purpose, we'll try to take one more structure here. I hope everyone is good with this, Amma. Everyone is good with this, right? Everyone is good with this. Okay. Let me go with the next structure here. Lightning layout, right? So go back to the structure once again. Now you understand the structure what we are getting now. You understand the structure what we are getting, right, boss? Now we got list of records, right? Right. Now still you want to organize them. Name should be displayed in the first. Phone number should be displayed. Within the layout item, you take one more layout. Layout item. Within the layout item, you take one more layout. When you take one more layout, split them into two. Split them into two. One will display name, one will display phone number. I hope you are good with this. I hope you are good with this. Any further queries on this example? Any further queries on this example? Everyone is good with this. I'll go to the next way, data table and display the data. Right, Amma?
Yes.
Respond. Anything was followed or not followed? Right. Right. Okay.
Yes.
Right. Fine. Let us go back to the next one. The same example I'll repeat, but my question was, I want the data to be displayed in this way. This is the way I want to display. In the Visual Force page, if you want to display the data in the standard look and feel, we are using a concept called page block table. Right? Now, the iteration is like our repeat. The iteration what we have done here is like our repeat. What we do in the Visual Force like a repeat, here we have done with iteration. But what I want the data to be in the standard layout, the standard look and feel I want. There I was using a page block table. Here I will be using a data table. Here I will be using a data table. So what is this data table? In the data table, I was supposed to mention two things. First one is which data you want to display. Second one is which fields you want to display. Which data you want to display, which fields you want to display, tell me, automatically it will display. So it has two attributes, data, which data I want to display, which data you want to display, data equal to list of records, columns, which fields you want to display, that I have to define as a column. So what should I do? When I go to the data table, when you go to the data table, we have the following. What are the things we require? Look at this. Data table. When you are going with the data table, we need to mention data table. Key field. Based on which field we recognize the row uniquely. Every record is identified uniquely based on which field. I was giving ID. In the Salesforce generally we recognize with ID field. So key field is ID. Data, which list of records you want to display. Columns, what are the list of columns you want to display? Okay. Now, data we are fetching from Apeks class. Writing a SQL query, getting the data, display. Okay. Storing an attribute, no problem. What about these columns? If you want to tell about the columns, what I was supposed to do is, what is the field label? What is the field name? What is the data type of the field? What I have to tell? If you want to tell which column you want to display, field label, field name, and the data type of the field, all the three we have to display. Now let us see here. What is this? Field label, field name, and data type. Field label, field name, and data type. Field label, field name, and data type. We are supposed to mention this. We are supposed to mention this. Field label, field name, and type. So let us see this one. I am trying to achieve this example. So the same example, same program, we are trying to show in terms of data table. Okay. I will not change the program. Program is fixed. Same Apeks class I am going to use. Only the components I am going to change it. Now, Can I copy this header part? Can I copy the header part? Header part I was copying. What is the header? Search box and button. Right. Look at this example. If you have look at this. Till here any query is there? We have three attributes. What is the search text? What is the list of accounts and list of columns? List of accounts, list of columns. Then here look at the point. Lightning card. In the lightning card, what we are taking? Header with the search box and button. Any query on this? Is that was clear? Everyone is clear with this? Okay. Right, Amma? Right. Now let us take the body. Here I was defining. Your handler init value equal to okay. Now where columns equal to array of columns. How you define a columns? Label account name, field name, field name, type, account phone, field name, industry, then I am giving rating. So what was that? I am giving a list of fields which I want to display. I can give it as a phone. No issue. If you give text also, no issue there. Now basically, what was that? Line number 6, comma extra. Okay. Type colon, I go equal to. It was supposed to be colon there. So what I have done? Label. We are just trying to set a label, field name, type. Label, field name, type. These are the list of columns which I want to display. So what I was doing? Component dot set p dot columns equal to whatever the columns I have created, I am setting the value to this columns. When you are loading it, when the component is loaded, we are setting these are the columns which I want to display. What is the next function we have? Invoke the data. Invoke the data. How are you invoking the data? What are the search text we entered? Pass the search text, get the list of accounts, displayed. This is to make a call to the Apeks class. This is to make a call to Apeks class, get the data. What this method is doing? When the component is create. List of fields which you want to display. Now what was this? Get the search text entered. Invoke the Apeks class. By passing search text as parameter. Define the callback action and check the status. Fetch the list of accounts and assign to attribute. Right. I hope these functionalities are clear. Clear, Amma? Anyone has any query on this? Line number 6 to line number 11. Anyone has any query on this? It is an array of fields. Array of fields which I want to display. Which field? What is the label name? Displayed on the top of the label name will be displayed on the top of the data table. Now, simple example. When you take a page block table, Apeks column value equal to, how you give? Apeks column value equal to a dot name, header value equal to, am I right? Now this name is this value equal to a dot name. This header value is nothing but label. There we are defining Apeks column value equal to a dot name header value, but here we are going to give it as label field name. Exactly the same. Exactly the same. But there we are giving value, header value. Here we are giving label and field name. Right, Amma? I hope you are good with this. Now, what I was supposed to do? Now we need to understand. Now we need to understand how to display data table. Lightning data table. Now here, when you go to the Lightning data table, key field, data. What is the data you want to display? V dot columns. V dot. Then we have hide the checkboxes. There is a concept called hide the checkboxes. So go back to this hide checkbox call. So when I want this to be displayed, when account is, when there is a data in the account, try to display it. Now we are going to invoke this in the application. Now how we are displaying? Simply data table, data columns. That's all. Data table, data columns. Go to the Lightning application. Have a preview. Account name, phone, industry, rating. We are getting this because of labels. Right? Now, how are we getting? We are getting the data in the standard look and feel. There I wrote a layout item, okay, all this stuff. But here a simple component called data table with data columns. Data will tell you which records, columns will tell you which fields you want to display. Data will tell you which records, columns will tell you which fields. I hope you got my point. Right. Now here we want some checkboxes to be given here. So how can you define the checkboxes? Checkboxes. When you say checkbox is equal to false, go back to the data. This is the data we got here. I hope you're good. Right. So selection of multiple records. Now when you select this, I want to perform some action. We'll see that. So how do you perform when I select this? Now previous example, when I enter the data, that record is getting displayed on the left hand side. Now whichever the record I select, the record should be open on the left hand side. That we'll see it passing the data from one component to another component. That's events. We'll be looking at them in the next class. Okay. I hope you got my story. Now making a call to server side, getting the data, displaying the list of records. Right. Right, boss? Okay. Now here, can I give it like this? So we are getting the point here. Is not equal to. Come again.
Probably the size greater than 0.
I can give the size actually, but we have not initialized the data there. It should be null actually. Right. Fine. So we got the data here. Format field, right. So what we can give here? Come again. Size. But it doesn't make impact actually. It's a null actually. Okay. Let me put out the. If you're not happy with that, let us put this. Okay. So what I can do in this case? What is the alternate way? What is the alternate way?
See the value of the size of the array.
Length, actually, right? V dot accounts dot length. I don't think it's okay. Let me check it out. Flag.
Or else we can add a toggle and we can, if it is, we can give as a boolean and true or false, Satish.
Yeah, we got it already. Okay. Length is working for us. Accounts dot length. Right, boss. So what we have done in this case? No need of the flag, no. So we have taken basic structure. This is how we got the data. Right, boss? Okay. So this is how we achieved the functionality. I hope everyone is good with this. Shall we try one example? Now the example is, I'll give one use case. Okay, first let us do the basic example, but overall our requirement should be like this. My requirement is My requirement should be like this. Let us see this. Listen to the requirement. The overall requirement should be like this. We will split it into two parts and do it. Now, basically in the home page, I need to get two layouts. This layout will display list of records. For now, I will take it in this way. This is the data what I have. So create the record. Click on the save. Data should be displayed here. The record should be added and they should be displayed here. This is my overall requirement. If you do this, then you'll understand the advantage of going for events. First, when you achieve this, then we'll see advantage of going for events. So what was that? When you load the component, it should be empty with a list of records. When I enter a new account record and click on save, the record should be added to the record should be added to the database, and I was supposed to get the fresh list of records. Got my point here? When I click on save, record should be inserted into database. Record should be inserted into database. Then I was supposed to get the list of records. I was supposed to get the fresh list of records. When I click on save, Apeks class should be called. Record should be saved to database. After saving to the database, again I have to call one more method which will give me a list of records, and it has to display a list of records for me. So this is my overall requirement. So how will you achieve it? How will you achieve? First we'll do one example with the data table. Then we'll go to the extension. I'll give the logic for it. You can implement from your end. Okay. So first let us see how to display the list of records. Okay. First all of you create an Apeks class which will run list of contacts created tree. Create a Apeks class which will run list of contacts created tree, or list of contacts. Create a Apeks class which will run list of contacts. Create an Apeks class which will run list of contacts. If you implement this example, then you understand the purpose of event boss. What is the advantage we are going to get by using events?
Hi Satish. Meanwhile, I have one small
Go ahead,
doubt.
Amma. Go ahead.
So I got the access to your videos. Can you help me to understand how to access the my batch videos? I got access, but is it common for both integration and lightning? Because I'm part of both.
You'll be getting both the sessions, Amma. In the left
So
hand side
same
will be,
access for both,
yeah,
right?
yes, Amma.
Okay. So can you let me know how to access one video so that I can use do for
Login.
others also?
Login
Mhm.
on the left hand side, you'll be finding a tab, lightning tab. Just click on the lightning. There's a sidebar menu. The moment you log in, you'll automatically see the videos, Amma. The moment you
Okay.
log in, automatically you see the videos. List of contacts, get my contacts. And here we have, okay. Create one more method which will take contact as object as a parameter and insert the data. Create one more Apeks class method which will take contact as object, contact as a parameter and insert the data and return the result. Take one more method in the Apeks class which will take contact as parameter. So we had two methods. One method will return the list of contacts. Another method will insert the records and give you true or success or error message. Because one method I need for fetching the data, another method I need for inserting the data. Okay. Then what you are supposed to do next? Create the lightning component. Then we had a controller. What is the controller? Example. And what are the attributes I need? The data what I want to display. Columns what I want to display. Then I want to display attribute name equal to con, type equal to contact default, list of contacts, list of columns, and this. Right? Then how we want to achieve? Lightning layout lightning layout item size equal to 12. Lightning layout item. Then go to the next one, lightning layout item size equal to then we had the same story. So we had here 4 around a small. Instead of typing it, you can ask me the question at the end. It will be better conveyed. Right. This is how we got it. Then here what we are supposed to do, we are trying to take lightning input label last value equal to v dot con dot right. I'm expecting you to write. You got stuck up, you can cross check my code. First name, phone, phone, on click c dot then I have got, you want to give a border for it, class, we can apply our CSS giving a border line for it. Lightning layout item. So in this first layout, what are you getting here? Taking the data. So I want to create a last name, first name, phone, email. Click on the save. It will go to the same method. What is the next layout we have? Lightning layout item size equal to 8. Around small. Lightning data table data. Okay, first what we are supposed to do, data v dot data columns I hope you are good with this. So what we have done, layout, in the layout we have total three items. First item is taking 12 size. So complete header will come. I gave first element 12, complete header will come. Second element I gave 4, third element I gave 8. So row 12, 4, 8. 12, 4, 8. Are you getting my point? Then what is the functionality you have to give? What is the functionality I have to give? First, look at this. I'm giving some function, component, event. Now, when you load the page, list of records should be fetched. When you add the record also, list of records should be fetched. So what I am trying to do? Here I am trying to give where columns equal to list of columns you have to mention. How do you mention the list of columns? Now tell me, how do you mention the list of columns which you want? Label, field name, type, you give it. Then what you are supposed to do? Set the component dot set this is a velocity. Once you have set this, then what I was supposed to do? Call the Apeks class method. We want to get all the list of record. How do you call the Apeks class method? Well, action equal to component dot get. Now I'll tell you why we are going to use this. Component dot get. This component dot get, always I am going to call it. Because once I insert the data, again I have to call the same function. Once I insert the data, again I have to call the same function. Every time I call insert, I have to call this function. That is the reason what I am doing. We are trying to write this as helper methods. Because these functions will be called number of times. Okay, now I am giving here control. So next I am going to create one more functionality here. Call function. Now what it is going to do? Where C1 equal to component dot get v dot get the component. Once you get the component, where action equal to component dot get c dot, what is the method we had? Contact create. action dot set right. Then you are supposed to callback action dot set callback. I'm giving rough structure. You are supposed to implement this. I'll share the code I'll remove some part of the code here. You finish the remaining part. I'm explaining, but I'll remove some part of the code and give you, right? You rectify the errors and you resolve it. I'll remove the part of the code from here. So this is how we got it here, where state equal to response dot get state. After getting the state, if state success. Then if it is success, console dot if result dot success. If result is success, then I want to call one helper method here. Look at the point. In the above case also, here I am calling get the list of records. Helper dot my codes. Here also I am giving helper dot my code. What this helper method is doing? What this helper method is doing? Get all the, this is contact, right? What this helper method is doing? It is making a call to Apeks class. It is making a call to Apeks class. Whatever the contacts are there at this time, get those contacts and send it to variable. Now, how many times you are calling this method? When I load the component, I have to get this. When I load the component, I have to get this. When I insert the contact also, I have to get the list of contact. When I insert a new contact, if the contact is inserted successfully, get me the fresh list of contacts. So 2 times I am going to call it. So instead of defining the logic separately, what I am doing? Helper. Now I am giving a helper here. What is the helper? My contacts. What it is doing? Where action equal to component dot get. What is the Apeks class method we have? Get my contacts. Then check the what it will do. Action dot set response. Now tell me what this method is doing, boss. It is invoking the data. Component dot set b dot data. Now tell me what this was doing. It is calling a method called get my contacts. Whenever you call a get my contacts, what is happening? List of contacts are fetched. Whenever I call, whatever the list of contacts are there, they are fetched and they are set to my data. They are set to my data. They are set to my data. Okay. Now, what is happening? Look at this point. I gave URA handler. So what will happen to this component? Tell me. Whenever we load the component, URA handler is called. When you call the URA handler, show method is called. What the show method is doing? Setting the list of columns. Setting the list of columns. Then it is calling helper.mycontacts. The moment you say helper.mycontacts, what it is doing? It is calling the method called getMyContacts. GetMyContacts. List of contacts are fetched and they are sent to your contact list. Then what happened? These columns, this record with these columns will be loaded by default when you load the component. When you load the component, automatically what happened? Empty contact page, list of contacts will be given. Okay. Then I am going to enter the contact data. Click on save. The moment you click on save, what is happening? Call account. So when you go to call account, what it is doing? It is invoking. It is invoking Apeks class method, trying to insert the data. If the data was inserted successfully, result equal to success. If the contact was inserted successfully, again I am calling helper method. When you call again helper method, what happened? One more time it will make a SQL query, get the list of records, display it. Right? So how many times you are calling this action? Twice. Instead of defining 2 times, I defined only once and I am using it. I hope you got my point. Right? UI okay. Now you are supposed to implement this. I'll make some errors here, rectify it and resolve it. Okay. Will you really implement it? So Apeks class, component, client-side controller, helper. Try to achieve it. I am just pasting this code. Try from your end. If you are unable to achieve it, look at my code. Now, basically requirement is clear. Is the requirement is clear? When the component is loaded, what is happening? When the component is loaded, this is the page what I am going to give. A input box with a list of records. Currently, what are the records are there? Those list of records and input box. Then I am going to enter the data. Click on save. This record will be saved to database. After the record is saved to database, this data will change. This data will change. Okay. If you want, you can also put delete also. You can put delete or update. Okay. If you can put delete or update, then it will make the changes there. Then again run the SQL query, get the fresh list of records and do it. I hope you are good with this. Right, Amma? Try to achieve this example. I am pasting this code. Have you followed this or need an explanation on this? If you can implement with the code, if you follow the code, we can, otherwise we'll implement it. Followed or not followed? You can find the file from the charter. Right. Try this code and implement it. Still, there is a concept which is left out, invoking the variables and invoking a wrapper class. The particular topic is left out. We'll be looking at this example in the next session. And the topic for the next week is going to be how do you transfer the data from one component to another component? Now we are building everything as a single component. Now you made this as a single component. If you make this as a simple component, entire component should be loaded at a time. So it is taking more time for loading. Because I built everything using a single component, then it is taking more time for loading. So what I want to do, I want to break them as two different components, transfer the data from one component to another component. So next class will be creation of events, transferring the data from one component to another component with the help of application level event, component level events. Okay. Once we are done with that, then I'll give a concept of navigation. Now we are getting the list of records like this. I'm just putting up the topics so that you can have the idea what I'm going to cover next week. Now, if I select this particular record, pop-up window is opening for editing. So how to get the selected record and open the detail page, aid page. This will be the topic. So hopefully Saturday I'll be finishing off the events. Maybe half the story will be left out on Sunday. Once it is done, I'll be showing you overlay layout. This is called overlay layout, displaying the data on the pop-up window. Okay. So this topic will be called events with the overlay layout of selected rows. This will be the topic for next week. Right. Any other queries for the today's session? See, the concept is simple. Only the concept is becoming complex because you are trying to add more UI. Because you are trying to add a more UI, the topic is becoming complex. But simply displaying the data is what? Data table, key field, data, columns. How do you get the data? Apeks class. Getting the data is simple. Now it is function, component.get, get the function. Whatever the data we are giving, we are setting the data to the attribute. That is okay. So invoking the function is good. Invoking the Apeks class method is simple. Displaying the data is simple. Now it is becoming complex because you are trying to add more UI. You are trying to organize the data in a proper format. There is a reason we are adding up more number of layouts, layout items, all these structures are coming because of the UI format. It is not because of the concept. Concept is what? Invoking in Apeks class. What is the concept? Component.get, c.method name. Get the state. If state is true, state is success, set the value. You want to display the data, lightning data table, key field, data columns. This is the concept. But to organize the data, we are building a lot of UI. All the UI is coming because of, all the extra stuff is coming because of UI format. Right, boss? I hope you are good with this. Everyone is comfortable with these examples, what we have done for the day. Any other query from anyone else? Any other query from anyone else? Online, any other queries from your end? Reusability will be there, boss. Helper is given for reusability. Right. It will not override. Now that is possible, but there is a different structure for it. Straight away we cannot use it. We cannot define how many Apeks classes we can define as an extension. Only one Apeks class we can define as an extension. I gave you workaround procedure also. In the documentation I gave you workaround procedure. These are the standard attributes. What we are doing? Label name. Label is for DetaTble display. Name is for which field you are printing. Type, what type of data. In case if it is a pick list field, we have to get a pick list type. If it is a pick list field, when I make an inline edit, I have to get a pick list field. So these are the standard attributes what we are going to get. Data table. Right. So whatever the properties we have taken here, all these properties are fixed. Label, field name, type. These are fixed properties. Still we have some actions here. How to add a buttons, how to add a actions, how to add a pick list. Still there are some more topics. Okay. We'll use them one by one. Right. With respect to the requirement, fetch the data, display the data, we have done it. How to add the action, we'll be doing down the line. Right, boss? Everyone is good? Pakka? Pakka? Right, chalo. See you all on the next Saturday.